Starting right now. We're going to do 3 exercises to help warm up our joints and get ourselves prepared. And we're going to do 5 stretches that all lead up into a very thoughtfully combined set of exercises for side splits. All right, let's get started. If you have never been here before, we do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and make a little bit of progress together towards our goals of side splits. If you are just interested in lower body stretching, that's awesome because everything that we're doing is going to make your hips feel a lot better anyway. All right, first exercise is the hip CAR. CAR stands for controlled articulated rotations. And basically what we're trying to do is move our leg through the full range of motion available from this hip using our own muscle power. All right, so how do you do that? We start by really trying to lift that knee as high as possible right in front. You're going to try to open up that hip as wide as you can while keeping the knee as high as you can. And I want you to rotate that ankle and bring it all the way up, and then bring that leg down and back. Down and back looks a little bit like this. Your knee is going to be behind the standing leg. You're flexing your hamstrings, you're flexing your glutes to pull that leg back. You should feel maybe a tiny bit of a stretch in this hip flexor right here. All right. Whew. That's it. Let's do 10 reps on this side. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High Queen R, high knee, open up, leg back, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. I see a whole bunch of people joining in. We are doing 30 minutes of live side splits training, and we're starting with the warm-up. This is called the hip CAR, and basically we are bringing our legs through the full range of motion accessible to that hip socket. All right. If you have just popped in, I'll explain what hip CARs are again. We are bringing that knee up as high as possible with muscle power. We're going to open as wide as we can while keeping the knee high with muscle power. Rotate the leg so that the ankle is up. Try to keep your upper body relatively straight, and then bring the leg down and back. Down and back looks like this. The knee is going to be a little bit behind the standing leg. Your hamstring is flexed and your glutes are flexed. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in that front hip flexor. Let's do our 10 reps. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. I have completely lost track of how many of these we've done so far, but I'm going to just pretend it's 8, and we're going to do our final 2. Whew. All right, that's 10. I'm going to come over and check the comments real quick. Hi, Ben. That chat looks fine. All right. If you're just hopping in, we are doing 30 minutes of live side split stretching to practice consistency with a little bit of community. You're welcome to introduce yourself in the chat, get to know each other. We usually have a bunch of regulars that pop in. We do this every single day, so join in, and hopefully we'll make a little bit of progress towards the side splits together. We just did the front side of hip CARs. Now I want you to do the reverse side of hip CARs. What that looks like is we're going to start by flexing the hamstrings and the glutes, pull that leg a little bit back, feel that stretch in the hip flexor in the front. Then we're going to lift that leg directly out to the side like we're going to kick somebody in a martial arts movie. All right. From here, I want you to rotate that leg so that the ankle comes down, and then bring the knee forward. Keep that knee as high as it can go during this portion of the move. We're going to do that 10 times, and then we're going to be done with that leg. All right. Back, side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee, 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 back, side, ankle, knee. I'm pretty sure we've done 10, so let's move on to the opposite hip. All right. Back, side, ankle, knee. I'm a little bit off balance. Back, side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee. I'm pretty sure we've done like 7 or 8, so let's just wrap up with 2 more and move on to the next exercise. All right. Next up, we are doing the elephant walk. This is really great for your hamstrings, and it looks a little bit like this. We're going to get into this L shape, folding at the hips, and you should feel a little bit of a stretch in the hamstrings already. If you do not feel a stretch in the hamstrings, then you did not get deep enough into the L. Now, I guess you're trying to make a V, except sideways. I want you to take one leg, bend that knee, keep the other leg straight, and put a lot of weight into that straightened leg. All right, I call it sassy hips because from a straightened leg position, we're bending one knee, and we're sticking the hip out over there. All right, from there, I want you to bring your belly button back down as low as it can go. Really feel that hamstring stretch. The bent legs hamstring stretch will feel a little bit different than the straight legs hamstring stretch. I want you to grab somewhere between the knee and the ankle and that shin bone and help open up your chest in the direction of your straightened leg. What that means is my right leg is straight, I'm grabbing my right leg and I'm pushing and opening my chest so that my chest is pointed to the right, all right? Extend that arm up, take a look out of the corner of your eye where you're pointing that hand, and for the next rep, try to get further rotated, all right? Let's switch to the other side, same thing. My right leg was straight, now my right leg is bent. My left leg was bent, now my left leg is straight. Bring the belly button down, grab that leg, open up the chest, point your fingers, take a look at where that spot is, and try to get into a deeper rotation next time. All right, let's go. We're doing 10 of these total. That was number 1, and this is number 2. You should have noticed a huge difference in the thoracic mobility between those first 2 or 3 reps. I'm already feeling like I'm getting way farther. I know it's really fun, and I spent a whole bunch of time telling you about this thoracic rotation, this rotation of the back, but I want you to remember that this, first and foremost, we want to focus on the muscles that are related to the side splits, because this is the hamstring stretch while you're doing this. All right, make sure you take a deep breath and get deeper into that hamstring stretch while you play with and wrap up and move on to the next exercise. All right, that is 2 of our warm-up exercises, getting the joints ready. I see a whole bunch of people joining in. Welcome, welcome. Sevmek is excited. Awesome. Thank you for coming back. It's good to see you. All right. Happy Saturday, everybody. All right. We're doing a third round, third warm-up exercise. Let's go. Cossack switch. If you've never, if you've never done anything like this before, Cossack switch looks a little bit like this. We're going to spread our legs wide, probably 2 or 3 times our hips width or shoulders width. And we're going to try and point our knees and toes in the same direction and go down to one side. All right, if you were to see how my leg and knee were going, it might look a little bit like this, but it could possibly also look a little bit like this. I just want your knee to travel over your toes. The angle itself isn't that important. That changes a little bit for everybody depending on how flexible you are. All right, so from here, you can experiment with the angle of this leg. Right now, if straight in front is 90 degrees, I would say I'm about 110 degrees. If this is 90, so 30 degrees more that way, and that's fine. If you have really flexible hips that can open up really wide, maybe you can go much further. That's all normal. What I want you to focus, though, however, is your ankles. Your heel might be popping up, and the way to, if you're not off balance, it's fine if your heel pops up a little bit. I recommend keeping your heel down because it helps you stay a little bit more stable. To get your heel down, you'd benefit probably from just coming back out of that deep stretch. And that's it. I want you to focus on the feeling of that pressure in this hip while you're resting in it. And just take a couple of deep breaths. Most people don't spend any time in a position like this at all, ever. So sometimes it takes a couple of seconds to get relaxed and get used to that position. And that's what we're trying to do with this warm-up. All right, from here, I want you to notice that this foot over here, I'm on my heel, my toes are pointing up, my knee is pointing up, and my quad is pointing up. All right, this is called leg external rotation, and it will be useful in a little bit when we do the side split, so I just want to point it out right now. All right, so let's switch to the other side. What makes a Cossack switch is we're trying to keep our hips as low as possible while we get to the other side. And same thing, because it's the first rep, we can spend a couple of extra seconds here getting used to that intense weight in the hip, maybe feeling that calf stretch, that Achilles tendon getting stretched. And I want you to notice, once again, this leg, heels down, it means toes, knees, and quads are pointing up. All right? All right, let's take 2 more seconds in this position and switch back over to the other side and start picking up the pace a little bit. All right? Keep the hips low, come over to the other side. If you're having problems keeping the hips low, you're going to always come up a little bit higher, come across, and then drop. Whatever makes sense for you, but push yourself just a little bit. All right? This is 3, and 4, and 5. We're just doing 5 of those. So that means we are done with the warm-up. Shake out those legs. Let's get started with our stretches. I'm going to come back in, check the comments real quick. I'm going to do a quick swipe. True facts. Yep, all right, I'm sorry. There's way too much going on in TikTok for me to scroll all the way back. So I'm going to have to ignore it for a second and continue with the stretches. Let's get ready for the first stretch. We're doing hamstring stretches. To get into this, there's a couple of different ways, and I'm going to try and simplify it because I've been doing a little bit confusingly the last couple of days. Today, what we're going to try to do is stand up straight, take a step forward, and put the hips back. All right, from here, you'll see your upper body is almost horizontal, right? And this leg is out up in here in front of you, and you should feel a good stretch. And some of you might be going, I can't get horizontal. What are you, crazy? That's totally okay. That's normal. Even if you are perfectly at 90 degrees, you should feel really intense hamstring stretch, right? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you're seated on the ground perfectly at 90 degrees, more likely than not, you probably don't feel any stretch at all because there's no pressure pulling you into the stretch. It's relatively relaxed. All right? So, even if you are just barely at a 90-degree angle from here, you are feeling a stretch because your body is being pulled down by gravity. And that is one of the most important parts of this variation of the stretch. Gravity is giving you a lot of help, so take advantage. All right, from here, you have 2 options. One, if you're feeling strong and stable, you can just take advantage of all of that gravity supporting you and try to work on the stretch from here. Alternatively, if you're feeling a little bit off balance, if you're not so sure, then you can drop down to one knee. You can grab a cushion, grab something to help you get down there. You can get into that same stretch, but instead of standing with this back leg, it's kneeling, all right? The minor disadvantage is gravity is working a little bit less hard for you, okay? But for most people, it won't make that big a difference. All right, from here, I want you to take a couple of breaths, try to relax into this position. And the reason why I always say relax in this position is because the more stress and tense you are, the less likely your body is to relax. And the less relaxed you are, the less likely you are to get into a deeper stretch position. All right? It's like telling yourself, hey, I'm about to take a really hard test. And your body is going to respond with, oh, this is super chill. I'm just chilling, no problem. I love tests. That never happens, right? Because you're about to do something challenging and hard. So let's go. Take a couple of deep breaths. And I know I'm talking and explaining a lot for this thing. is because it's the first stretch in the total thing of stretches. So I just want to give you some reminders before we do all the rest of them. All right. From here, I want you to think about your belly button and where it is. I want you to try to bring your belly button down to match your thigh, to touch your thigh, to kiss your thigh. And if you are somehow doing that already, then bring your belly button even further down. Imagine trying to bring it to the ground. All right, that's it. We're going to hold this with steady pressure for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, bring that leg in, relax. Whew, I'm sweating. That variation of the stretch should feel a little bit more intense than many other variations of the hamstring stretch, especially if you're less flexible and you've never really gotten a good hamstring stretch before. Let me know if you feel like there's a difference. All right, let's switch to the other side. Same thing, we're going to stand up straight, take a step forward, the leg we want to stretch. Then we're going to bring the hips back. You should feel that deep hamstring stretch building up. Take a couple of seconds to relax and breathe in this position. It's okay if you slightly bend your knee. You'll still feel a really deep hamstring stretch. And from here, you get to decide whether you drop down to one knee or if you stay straight. I did the last one on one knee, so I'm going to do this one standing. And feel that tension in the hamstring. Your whole entire upper body is being pulled down by gravity into this one leg that's supporting you, and you're really feeling that stretch. All right? Belly button to thigh, belly button to floor. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, bend the knee, come down, relax for a second. Congratulations, we are done with our first stretch, the hamstring stretch. We're moving on to number 2. It is called the butterfly. If you have done a sport of any kind, you've probably heard of the butterfly. And I'm going to make some small changes to the typical butterfly. The first thing is I recommend you have a wall. Or in my case, I guess, some glass doors. And the reason why I recommend them is because I want you to put your hips, your shoulders, and your head against the wall and have a nice straight posture. What we're focusing here is on the groin stretch that is happening when we do the butterfly. All right, and we don't have to focus so much on the other details. From here, I want you to bring your feet in, and you'll notice your knees pop up. That's totally normal and natural. What we want to do is use the muscles in our legs to bring the knees down to the ground. The muscles are this outer thigh, the hip, and possibly even the glutes. All right? We're going to flex all those muscles and try to open up our hips. All right? So, outer thighs, glutes, open, 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 open. You'll see that my feet are no longer touching. They're also opened up like this because my legs are open. Once you cannot open, you cannot get any further, I want you to take your hands and apply a little bit of pressure on the fleshy part of your thigh just above the knee, and take a couple of nice deep breaths. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds, and that's it. That's the whole stretch. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let those hands relax. Oh, suddenly you'll feel a whole bunch of relief in the hips. Extend the legs. Relax for a second. Oh, man. Whew. All right, that's it. That is the butterfly stretch. We're going to move on into the third stretch, the pancake. I'm going to pop in to check to see if there are any comments real quick. I think there might be some Turkish that I don't understand. Sorry. And we have some... I don't think we have any chat going on. Just people who have joined the live. Okay, cool. All right, let's continue. Third stretch, excuse me, we're going to do is called the pancake. We're going to do a variation called the standing pancake. If you look at my hands and you imagine this hand is the upper body and this hand is the lower body, pancake basically involves you going like this, folding flat. It is really hard. There's a lot of muscles involved. Most people can't do it. I can't do it. So we're going to do a variation that uses gravity to help us, similar to how we were doing the hamstring stretch earlier, to help bring the upper body down towards the lower body, and gravity is going to do a lot of the work. All right? So to get into this position, I recommend you going back to that wall that we just used and sticking your butt on the wall. All right? Now, take one step forward with your legs so that you're about 20-30 centimeters away from the wall, 8 to 12 inches away from the wall. And from there, I want you to let those legs open and relax as deep into a side split looking position as you can while resting your butt against the wall. What we have here is basically a tripod. This left leg, this right leg, and our butt are the 3 points of the tripod. All right? The wall makes it so you can't fall backwards. It eliminates one of the scary parts of doing the side split. You can't fall backwards. You can only fall forwards. And if you fall forwards, luckily, we have some hands to catch us. All right. From here, as soon as your legs are no longer comfortable, I want you to stop. Don't go any deeper. In fact, come up just a little bit. All right? Fold at the hip joint, like so. And I'm going to show you from the side so you get an idea of what it looks like from the side. We're folding at the hips. And that's basically the position that we're going to be getting into for the pancake. So now you have two options to make this a little bit more difficult for the actual stretches that we're doing. You can stick your hips further back, stick your arms out, and suddenly you'll feel like you have way more pressure to drop down into the stretch. Ooh. I have a low battery notification. I'm going to hit close on that. Sorry about that. And then we have the second option, which is to get into position and grab our legs and pull our whole body down into that stretch. Give me a second. I'm going to adjust my earbud. It's shifting out of place. That's it. Let's get started with the pancake. All right. I'm going to stick the butt back, lift the arms to start. Take a couple of breaths here. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of that stretch. The pancake is hard because you're doing a whole bunch of stuff all at the same time. You're stretching the adductors, you're stretching the hamstrings, and I recognize I forgot to tell you one thing. I started with have your butt resting against the wall so you can't fall backwards, and I ended up doing the stretch facing this way. But basically all the same rules apply. When you're leaning forward, you want to bring your chest down and have your butt sort of floating against the wall so that you have a little bit of that sense of security that something else will catch you if you ever fall backwards. Well, you can't fall backwards, so at least you can depend on your hands to catch you if you start falling forwards. All right, that is the third of our three main stretches. We have two more. The next one is the, oh my God, brain fart, pigeon. or figure 4 stretch. And the last one is the side split. We're doing 3 rounds of side splits at the end, so don't miss out. Taking a couple of deep breaths real quick. I saw a whole bunch of people just pop in. We do 30 minutes of side split stretching every single day to practice consistency and build a little bit of community. So feel free to introduce yourself in the chat and have a nice little bit of conversation. We do this every day for 30 minutes to make sure that we're making a little bit of progress daily towards our goals. If that's of interest, hit subscribe, follow, make sure to come back. We do this pretty much 27 minutes ago every single day. All right. Fourth stretch is the figure 4 or pigeon. It basically looks like this. If you were standing, you bring your ankle up towards the opposite hip, and you're trying to bring your chest down towards that ankle. And you'd feel the stretch out here in the hip and possibly here on the inner thigh and hamstring-ish area. All right, so what that looks like while we're laying down, there's 2 variations. There's one laying on your back, and there's one where you're sort of your chest down. All right, we're going to do the variation on our backs. All right, looks a little bit like this. We're going to lay back. Don't worry, it's not chill at all. You might feel that way for now. We're going to take that leg, cross it over to the other knee, reach your arms through, grab that knee, and start pulling the leg towards our chest. And you'll notice the stretch starting right here in the glutes. You might feel it in the inner thighs. You might feel the pressure in the hips immediately. From here, we just need to apply steady pressure for 30 seconds. Just don't forget to apply steady pressure. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, let it all go. Whew. All right. That's one side. Let's do the other. Spin around. Cross the leg over to the opposite knee. Reach the arms through. And 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay. We're done with the figure 4s. The reason why I like the figure 4s is because you have a lot of control over that angle of the leg. You control the ankle, you control the knee, you control the pressure that you're applying. The con is you have to apply all that pressure yourself with your arms, right? If we were to do a pigeon stretch, it looks a little bit like this. The leg is still across the body, and we get to drape into a stretch like this. On one hand, it's way more chill and relaxed because you can just kind of relax into this position on the floor and your hips are getting a crazy stretch. On the other hand, it is really common and easy for that leg to start wandering around to get into the easiest position for the leg when you're focused on trying to chill and relax and you're not really looking at the leg. So a lot of the time you're trying to adjust like this. You know, you're pulling this leg up. So the stretches are a little bit different. And that's why we do both. All right. It's time. It's time for the final set of stretches. We're doing the side splits. We've warmed up all of these different muscles in our hips. And now we're going to talk about some side splits. I'm going to come back through just to check up on the chat. Everything looks fine. All right, let's continue. So I like to do the side split with a little extra margin of safety. What that means is I like to have a back wall to put my butt against so I can't fall backwards. And so the way I set this up is I take one step in front of the wall, about 20, 30 centimeters, 8 to 12 inches, and I try to spread my legs nice and wide right in front of them. If I ever start feeling like I need to fall back, I can just lean forward and stick my butt back, and my butt's leaning against the wall. So at this point, I can't fall backwards, and if I fall forwards, I'm already so close to the ground, it won't hurt that bad. All right? Whew. Okay. From here, in the side split, I want you to lean forward and put your hands down like you're about to do a push-up. All right? Something like this. From here, most of that weight is suddenly transferred to your hands instead of over your legs. And what I want you to do is something called external leg rotation. What it looks like is your heels are going to be on the ground, your toes, your knees, your quads are going to be pointing up. All right? I want you to do that on both legs as much as you can. If you can only get to 45 degrees, that's fine. Try your best to get towards 90. I don't think I can hit 90. And that's more than enough. What we're doing by leaning forward is actually helping this process, so we don't actually have to hit a perfect 90 degrees. It's overkill anyway, but it's extra flexibility. That's always fine, right? Okay. All right. From here, you might notice that you're already slipping into a deeper side split stretch. I am slowly drifting into it because there's some anatomy going on where the hip and the leg collide into each other at different angles depending on who you are and how your hips are built. But for the most part, 99-ish% of people, if you externally rotate the legs so that the toes are pointing up in this position, the bones will get out of each other's way and you'll be able to get deeper into a stretch. And that's what we just did. That's why we did all that stuff, to open up the hips for more ability to get into a deeper stretch. From here, if you are feeling a really, really deep stretch, and I've been talking for so damn long, that you already want to quit, then you can stay right here and not move. If you are ready for a deeper stretch, or you want to get into a deeper stretch, then I encourage you to walk your hands back so that more of your weight is directly over your hips, and do a little bit of a wiggle. I'm going to wiggle and see if I can get an extra centimeter or two out of the stretch. And if you can, great. If you can't, also great. Let's start at 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. I encourage you to try changing your hand positioning to bending and softening your elbows so you put a little bit more weight into your legs, and experimenting with how much stress you're putting into your hips. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Get back into that push-up position. Crawl forward. Bring your legs in. Relax for a second. I know I had a lot of explanation and talking. So if you were sitting in an almost side split-ish position for a really long time, I'm sorry, yet also at the same time, I'm really proud of you because you just spent a whole bunch of time in that side split position. And I can't hear you complain, so it's a great job, right? Awesome. Okay. We had a whole bunch of people pop in during that suffering that we were just doing. So I'm going to introduce myself. We do 30 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, build a little bit of community, and make a little bit of progress towards our side split and hip stretchy goals. If you are super interested in that, hit follow, subscribe so you can get notified to come back. All right, that's enough of a break. Let's get into our second side split of the evening, which means we are about to be 66% done. We're really only 33, but 66 sounds much better. All right, hips against the back wall, drop as low as you comfortably can. And once it's no longer comfortable, lean forward into this push-up position so that most of your weight is in the front of your body. Externally rotate the legs, which means put your heels on the ground and point your toes up, your knees up, your quads up. And if this is enough of a stretch, you can just stay here. If you're looking for more and you notice you're already slipping into a deeper stretch by accident, then you can slowly walk your hands back so that they get closer to right underneath your hips. From here, if you feel like you might be able to go a little bit deeper, try a little bit of a wiggle from side to side and see if you can get deeper. If you cannot, that is totally fine. And with that, I want you to focus on sticking your butt out behind you as if you're trying to touch that wall again if you're not touching the wall, and punch through the wall if you are touching the wall, and fold forward just a little bit. All right? Imagine bringing your belly button down to the ground. That's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, crawl forward on those hands. Bring the legs back together. Suffering. So much suffering. All right, take a break, relax. I encourage you to stand up if you can, shake out the legs, let the muscles start functioning and working again. I think there's some comments that came through. I'm gonna just reach over and check. Everything looks good. All right. Whew. We just did 2 of our 3 side splits, and I know I count for 30 seconds, and I make it sound like it's a 30-second stretch, but really we hang out there for much longer. It's all a masquerade of sorts to help you get through the stretch and actually spend way longer in the stretch than you think you are. All right, so it's intentional. All right, that's enough of a break. Shake out those legs one last time, and we're gonna get into the final side split stretch of the evening and wrap up so you can go do whatever else you want to do this wonderful Saturday. All right, let's go. Open up the hips, step right in front of the wall so that your butt is brushing against the wall. Open up those hips as much as you can. Once it's no longer comfortable, lean forward and get into this push-up position and put all the weight into your arms. From here, external rotate the legs. So what that means is your heel is on the ground, your toes are up, your knees are up, your quads are up. It doesn't have to be a perfect 90 degrees, 45, 70, just not 0. All right. From here, you should automatically feel like you can get into a deeper stretch because your bones are no longer grinding against each other. And from here, I want you to decide if you are good enough in this position, you can't get any further anyway, stop. It's okay. Hang out here for a little bit, breathe. If you feel like you can go a little bit deeper, walk your hands back towards your hips so that more of your weight is right over the hips and applying pressure into your stretch. And then from here, do a little wiggle from side to side to see if you can open up those legs just a little bit further because friction is so strong. And that's it. Let's go. Last 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. We're done. Crawl forward on those push-up arms. Pull the legs in. Relax. Come back into a kneeling position or sit down, lay down. I don't know, whatever you feel like, because we're done. It doesn't matter what you do now. We're just chilling. All right. Oh, man, my legs are beat. Obviously, my legs are beat because that's why I'm crawling to you like I can't move. All right. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back and joining me for 30 minutes. Actually, it turned out to be 39 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day, and it's to build consistency with a little bit of community and hopefully make progress towards our goals. I welcome you to introduce yourselves in the chat so you get to know each other. Savmek has been here like 4 times this week, I think. Queen Ara has been here every single day. And everybody's lovely, so get to know each other. Savmek, it has been a very tiring one for me as well. But I do feel like my stretch was a little bit deeper today than yesterday. I was really stiff yesterday though. My knee kind of hurt yesterday and the day before, so I was trying to be a little gentle. And then by the time we finished the warm up, it wasn't really hurting the knee, so I was like, "Oh, I can just keep going." But I think subconsciously I was holding back a little bit the other days. But today, I think I went a bit deeper than I was expecting. So that's great, making progress. All right. It has been 40 minutes that you have spent with me, some of you. I mean, if you've been on since the beginning, I can't imagine most people have actually been on for the whole entire thing. But if you have, thank you so much for being here the whole time. And I appreciate you all for coming in to practice and put time and effort into making your goals happen. All right, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you hopefully tomorrow or the day after or some other time 40 minutes ago in the future. 40 minutes ago being this is when we start. This is a regular time. So come back. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy. See you soon. Woo.